Hello everyone, welcome to the Northern Tarot. My name is Andy. Today is another topic in our Sagittarius Library playlist, and it is about shadow work. And I should have done this earlier. However, I didn't have time until now. So I hope that this will help a lot of people to understand more about what we are doing and why we need the spiritual growth and the healing guidance. Now, let's talk about the concept of shadow work. You can Google on internet. There will be a lot of resources of information that talking about this topic. However, the nature of the thing is, shadow is something that hiding deep, dark inside each one of us, and it is the fears, it is the weakness that we don't want to confront. We scared, we don't want to fix it because it looks bad, it looks ugly, it makes us look bad, and it makes us look ugly and weak to people. So most of the time, every day, we actually wearing a mask. I'm wearing a mask and you're also wearing a mask. Now the difference is, when you learn about shadows, the things that you need to work on, the things that you need to overcome, it will allow you to live more to your true identity. So the mask you're wearing is less heavy. It's the mask you're wearing. Maybe it's just because we want to bring the positivity to people. So sometimes we don't want to share our problems. Now that is okay, because it's not something like like wanna affect your love life, your career, your happiness, because I call it the white line mask. So the white line mask is something that we should keep. It's just like what I'm doing the work here, right? I will have to, it's kind of like I will have to share my image of someone who's happy and positive and knowledgeable, to inspire people. So that is the white line mask. So that is allowed and is acceptable. But the black dark mask that caused by the shadow, which is caused the unhappiness and the failure of people in workplace, in relationship, is something that we cannot ignore, and we have to work on it, right? So now let's talk about how to identify, because if you want to work on the shadows of what you are dealing with, then you need to find out the cause of the original causes of what caused that bad part of yourself, the shameful part of yourself, the part that you don't want to admit. And to allow ourselves to find the original causes of those things, we need to know how to identify the symptoms, the appearance of how it reflects the energies and the behaviors of all of us, right? So what I'm actually collecting through my experiences is, there are three main symptoms that we can note the shadows that we need to work on. First of all is the ego things. Now the ego thing is quite popular things. Now, for example, people are scared of losing face, losing their pride. People has to be superior, higher than other people. All these sort of things. Now that's the ego things. It will allow you to it will not allow you to see the truth of something, because you will refuse to admit that. It will make you become conservative, single-minded, and it can be very quiet dictatorship if you have that ego things. Now, and when you get hurt, it will make you more difficult to overcome things. If you compared to if someone already overcame the ego's problem. Now the second symptoms of the shadow that needs to be worked on is the codependency. The codependency is basically the needs of the immersed, like the desperations to have someone, to have some sort of like, you know, attachment or commitment, and then it might makes you becomes like possessive over people. It makes you becomes you know, retaliate when things doesn't work the way you want. It might break you like to the pieces when someone cheating or, you know, like lied to you. So the codependency is also cause quite a strong aftermath, consequences. If we don't work on it, it will break you, and if you're not careful with these things, you might lose you know, all the good things about yourself in life, and then you will become destructive and negative, and, you know, like, and then you become vindictive or poisonous to other people. So that's why we have to, you know, watch out for the ego and the codependency. Now the third one is also very important. Is when your energy is blocked, especially your heart chakra. So when the energies of the heart is blocked, it's often the case that you feel like the heart closed up to people, to things. You become quite like detached, losing confidence and all these sort of things. That is also the shadows that trigger it. So that are the three things that we have to think about: the ego, the codependency, and the heart closed up to the environment. Okay, so that's the symptoms. So if you see these symptoms, then you have to understand this is the shadow works that you need to go and find the causes, what caused it, right? Now, so about the causes to the shadow that create the shadow at the first place, there are two things that we have to think about. First of all is the time when you grow up, which is I call it the childhood things, the childhood period. Now most of the time the childhood periods when you got the damage to your soul because of, you know, like some sort of like families, the breaking of family, or, you know, lacking of, you know, parenthood, and most of the case it will cause you to have that heart closed up to people, which obviously that you didn't know when you grew up, right? That's why, you know, like everyone's gonna have some issues. Okay, so in the second period of events, I call it like the growing up time. So after the childhood, and there will be events like, you know, you started to, you know, mingle with people, start to like integrate with the world, and you start to learn things. And sometimes if you're unlucky, you will, you know, like meet all these bad peoples, and they did things to you, they hurt you, they cheated, they con money, they are stealing, they betrayed, and that will cause you the shadow, that, you know, like gonna, you know, like cause you a lot of problem. It's like the phobias of the events that you went through. So speaking about that, right, how to solve this? It's very simple. Now, unlike other people will advise you to go to like spiritual retreat and all these sort of methods, you know, like whatever that they do, I don't know if it's work or not because I never tried, so it's not for me to judge. But in my opinion, because I've done it myself too, this is actually totally free. This is the power of your mind, and the power of your mind started with your knowledge. So the knowledge is, for example, from this video, it will give you more insight and perceptions about what is shadows about, and how to cure and how to kill it. Now, it's very simple, because we know, we talk about the symptoms, and we know, and then we talk about the causes. Which period of causes? Is it the childhood or when you're growing up after that? So based on the symptoms, you will notify the period of time of when it happens. So basically we have to trace back to the very beginning of the event when it happened. And then when we knew the event when it happened, then we will realize what triggered it. Now when you knew what triggered it, obviously you know how to stop it. It's just as simple as that. Okay, but it's not easy if you Google things and read and try to understand things. But if you hear someone share the experience like me, it will be much easier. Now let's take an example, right? So if someone married, for example, 10 years, 15 years, and then suddenly, let's say the guy, the husband, cheated and went off with someone else, right? Okay, so now you couldn't stand it, and it's so hard for you to overcome what is going on because your ego, because you don't allow people to treat you that way, because obviously you have that attitude of superior, that everyone have to treat you like like better, the best. So that is actually the ego things. Now that ego things, looking back now, if you think that it was the time you were in the childhood or the time that you're growing up, obviously that has nothing to do with the childhood here. So it means that there will be something this man saw in you at the beginning, and you fell and they offer you that. For example, if you were have an issue of codependency, that you need someone to be attached to, commitment or something, you're scared of being alone. So this person saw it and they offer it, and you fell for it. And of course they offer it to get something out of it, and if when they got something out of it, they're satisfied with that, they say goodbye. So that is what happened, right? But again, another situation, if you think about this man left you, and then but it wasn't the ego, because you will always think that you're quite reasonable, fair to yourself and people around you. So there's another chances is when you grew up and you lack of your parenthood, for example, especially if that you don't have your father around when you're growing up, then obviously that you always wanted to have something to compensate that missing of the father figures, especially if this person is got the maturity, the look of like that father figures, even the age is mature, and things like that. And a lot of people actually going for that kind of thing, father figures, mother figures. It's very popular in the world, right? It's nothing new. So that's why you have to identify the symptoms to see, and then identify the period of when it happened to see. Now if it was a childhood of that, now if you understand that because the guy at the first place saw you missing that kind of father figure, so he also improvised that and you fell for it. So either way, it's not different, right? Basically, people will see your weaknesses and then they will provide exactly what you were looking for to get something out of that. Now, the benefit of when we identify and sort out all our shadow work on it, the people that wanting to looking for chances and like trying to sneak in and like using people, obviously that they cannot see that in you anymore, so they will stop coming to you. That is when you're gonna meet your soulmate, someone genuine, decent, and someone not gonna mistreated you. It's just as simple as that. I try to cut short the video because this kind of topic is only about 13 minutes, 15 minutes. So this is 30 minutes now. I'm sorry if I speak too fast, but I hope everyone understands the topic today. And I wish you all the best of luck. And I want to see every one of you happy. And I will see you in the daily as usual. Thank you, and subscribe to the channel and donate me if you can. Goodbye for now.